Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to your beginner's level. Okay, so the first few units of beginner's level is going to be very easy, actually. So you might think, okay, so this sounds very easy. So the first few units will be as such, okay, like from unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, they are going to be easier. But since we are, starting from unit 4, okay, starting from unit 4, 5, and 6 and above, it will get a little bit difficult. Okay, so since we are going to start off with the unit 1 here, so we're going to look at the basic. Okay, so before we continue on with every new unit, okay, so before we continue on with every new unit, we will look at the grammar points for that particular unit. So we look at some of the grammar points, and then we try to, practice while we are going through the unit itself. Okay, so if we have more time, so most of the time we will have more time because it's pretty simple and easy. You can do everything as, faster. So when that happens, so we just move on to the workbook. Okay. So now please look at the screen here. So if you look at the screen for today, for your level, we are going to look at the difference between action and state sentence or stative sentence. So if you look at the first sentence there, I walk to school. So this is the usual sentence. So I is the subject and walk is the verb, or we call it action verb here. Okay. And then the second sentence, I am a student. So the very first difference between action and stative sentence is that action sentence, you must have a action. Okay, you must have an action there. For example, walk, talk, eat, sleep, any action that you can do with your body or mind. Okay, using your body or using your mind. So any action that we call it action sentence. Okay, so for example, the first one, obviously there is an action. I walk to school. So walk is an action, right? You use your body, your legs to do the action. So that is action sentence. State sentence, on the other hand, they don't have any action there. So I am a student. There is no action here. There is no action, like you cannot do anything from your body. So there is no action here. So this, we call it as state sentence. Okay, so we call it as state sentence because there is no action here. We are talking about a particular state. So for this kind of state sentences, we don't use actions verb. We use be verb. So am, I am a student. So am is a be verb, or we also call it verb to be. Okay, be verb or verb to be. So you have to know the difference between these two here. So now we are going to focus on the state sentences. So if you look at here, so these are the be verbs, present tense and past tense. So for I, we use am. So right now, present tense, we use am. I am a teacher. So was, past tense. I was a teacher. Sorry, I was a student 5 years, 6 years ago, maybe. Okay. And then you, we, they, we use are. You are, we are, they are. So these are the present tense. You are a student. We are parents. They are teachers. So were, past tense. You were a student 5 years ago. We were parents a year ago. They were students 10 years ago, for example. Okay, and then for he, she, it, we use the be verb is, and then the past tense was. So the same thing. He is a student right now. He was a student 5 years ago. Okay, so present tense and past tense. So this is what we call as the be verb. Am, are, is. The past tense was and were. We also call it verb to be. So both are the same thing. So if you look at the positive and negative sentences, okay, so I am smart. Negative, I am not smart. I was smart. Negative, I wasn't smart. Okay, we are handsome. We aren't handsome. We weren't handsome. Okay. It is a dog. It isn't a dog. It was a dog. It wasn't a dog. So for I, we always use am, and also past tense was. Negative, am not. Past tense wasn't. For you, we, they, we use are. Okay. Are and then aren't. Past tense were. So you don't say you was, wrong. We say you were. Okay. You were a student. So past tense were for we, you, they, and then the negative weren't. So for he, she, it, is, and then he, she, it, we also use was. So the negative is isn't and wasn't. Okay, so that's a very basic thing here. And if you look at the yes or no question, very easy as well. So you just have to bring the auxiliary verb or the be verb in this case. We have the be verb, right? So you bring the be verb to the front. I am smart. So am, the be verb, you bring it to the front. Am I smart? So it becomes a question. Okay, so when you bring the be verb to the front, it becomes a question. Am I smart? Yes, you are. No, you aren't. Was I smart? Past tense, the same thing. I was smart. So you bring the was to the front. Was I smart? Yes, you were. Remember, you, past tense, were. Yes, you were. No, you weren't. Okay. So the question form remains the same for all other pronouns. So are we smart? Were we smart? Same thing. Okay. Is he smart? Was he smart? So it doesn't matter what pronoun you're using, you just follow the correct auxiliary verb, correct be verb for that particular pronoun, and you can form the questions just like this. Okay. Okay, so this is what you're going to be looking at for unit 1 here for your level. It's pretty simple, straightforward, very easy. So there shouldn't be any problem with this. Okay, so please take a screenshot of this. So you just take a screenshot and save it in your phone or computer, you know, anything that you have in your hand, so that you can refer to and look at it when you need it, okay, for your revision or that kind of thing. Okay, good. So any questions so far? Okay, good. So if there are no questions, then we'll just continue on with our unit 1 here, okay? Just a minute. Okay, good. So now let's continue here. So both of you, please take out your student book and go to page